Have you ever been driving down a beautiful country road, you round a bend, and bam, you're suddenly staring at the back of a massive tractor? It's a moment that can be a little jarring, and it's a surprisingly common and misunderstood situation. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to handle it safely.
You know the feeling. You're on a scenic drive, windows down, everything's peaceful. Then you see it, a colossal piece of farm machinery that seems to take up the entire lane. Your heart kind of skips a beat, right? Well, that idyllic scene has just turned into a potential hazard, and understanding why is the very first step to staying safe. So what is it that makes this situation so different from just getting stuck behind a slow car in city traffic? Let's get right into the heart of the hazard. Well, it's because agricultural vehicles, they just don't play by the same rules as our cars. Think about it. They're designed for fields, not for freeways. Their size, their speed, their whole purpose for being on the road in the first place, it all introduces a completely different set of challenges that can catch even the most experienced drivers off guard.
Let's really break this down into the core challenges. It all boils down to three simple but critical things: speed, size, and sight. First up, let's talk speed. That 35-mile-per-hour number you see, that represents a huge safety gap. If you're cruising along at 55 and you come up on a tractor that's only doing 20, that closing speed is massive. You eat up the distance between you in just a few seconds, which absolutely shreds your reaction time. This, right here, is a leading cause of really serious rear-end collisions.
Next, let's talk about sheer size. And we're not talking about a vehicle that's just a little bigger than yours. A combine harvester can be over 20 feet wide. I mean, that can easily spill over into the oncoming lane. Plus, it's surrounded by massive blind spots. Because of this enormous difference in weight and size, any collision is going to be far, far more severe.
And you know, beyond those big three, there are other hidden dangers to think about. These machines need a ton of room to make wide turns. Sometimes they have to swing way out into the opposite lane just to make it into a driveway. You've also got the risk of debris falling from an insecure load. And think about the operators. During peak seasons like planting or harvest, they are working incredibly long hours, which can lead to fatigue and slow reaction times.
Okay, that's enough about the problems. Let's pivot and talk solutions. This is your playbook, your actionable guide for navigating these encounters safely and with confidence. It all starts with having the right mindset. First, just be patient. Rushing is your absolute worst enemy here. Second, maintain a very generous following distance to give yourself that buffer, that time to react. And third, you have to stay aware. You've got to anticipate the unexpected, like a sudden turn into a field entrance that isn't even marked. Now this is probably the single most important rule to burn into your memory. Farm vehicles have enormous blind spots. This simple rule of thumb is your best friend. Seriously, if you can't see their face in their mirror, they have no idea you're there. So get your car into a position where you know you're visible. Passing. This is the moment of highest risk, so it has to be done perfectly. First, you have to be absolutely certain you have a long, clear stretch of road with no hills, no curves. Second, signal your intention way earlier than you normally would. When you decide to go, pass quickly but legally. Don't speed. And this part is key. Give them tons of space before you pull back in. Remember, with all their attachments, these things can be way longer than they look. All right, so driving safely isn't just about your own actions. It's also about being able to read the vehicle you're approaching. These machines have their own language of safety signals, and it's crucial that you know what they mean. This right here is the most important sign you will ever see on a rural road. This bright orange triangle is the universal symbol for a slow-moving vehicle. By law, it means that vehicle can't go faster than 25 miles per hour. When you see this emblem, your immediate automatic reaction should be to slow way down. So beyond that SMV emblem, keep an eye out for other signs of a properly equipped vehicle. They should have working lights, they should have reflective tape on the front, rear, and sides to help outline their true size, and often you'll see amber or red flashing warning lights to make them extra visible, especially around dawn or dusk.
So what's the big takeaway here? If you're only going to remember one thing from all of this, what should it be?
You know, ultimately, this all just comes down to mutual respect. It's about understanding that farmers are out there doing essential work and that our public roads are a shared space for all of us. Patience and awareness aren't just little courtesies. They are fundamental to making sure our road system works safely for everyone.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As more and more people move into rural areas, you're getting more commuter traffic mixing with this slow farm equipment. That's only going to increase. And it really makes you wonder, right? What new rules or maybe even new technologies are we going to need to keep these roads safe for everybody in the future? It's definitely a question worth thinking about.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.